As we're in the third international break of the season so far, it's a perfect opportunity to step back and assess what has been a eventful and, in the most part, pretty poor start to the season for West Ham so far. We're going to have a little bit of a dissection of what's gone wrong, can it improve under this regime, and what is the future for West Ham. It's been a turbulent and changeable start to the season as we enter mid-November. Here to discuss what we have seen is Gary and Larry. It's a little bit of a Gary and Larry. How are we, folks?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good, buddy.
Good stuff. Let's see who's joining us in the chat before we do anything. Michael, hope you're well. Fathead.
Michael, Fathead.
Have we started the Jake for Match of the Day campaign yet? Well, they didn't pay enough, to be honest. They didn't meet me. Do you know what? Lineker said I ain't doing it no more. I sat by the phone all day. 5 to 5, I had the call, right, from the BBC. And they simply didn't pay enough. So I said no. Of course, that is a joke.
Was that a joke? Or were we supposed to laugh at that, Gary? Shoot.
That was my joke. Yeah, so laugh now. Yeah.
You got to give us a cue or something.
Sorry. Now, Jake for Hammer's manager. I mean, I need a work-life balance here. Blimey, I can't do everything. Like, I am amazing, but I can't do everything. No, I can't do both. I know I quite like this jumper. It's very nice. First, look at Gary rocking there. Is that Ralph Lauren or Jack Wills? That's Ralph Lauren, isn't it? Other side.
Probably.
Ralph
Probably,
Lauren.
yeah.
See? Lives well down there.
Sweet.
Posh down there, see?
Sold, Jake, sold. Well, I have money.
Perfect attire from Larry. Look, nice Kentucky Nike jumper. I mean, yeah. When Nigel and Mike aren't here, we bring the fashionistas out, right? This is Mark, hope you well.
What's up, Mark?
Greg's clearly paying the big bucks. I wish. Seriously, I wish. Right, before we do anything, I am now beginning to install some deterrents to taking the mick out of me, right? So tonight, I have got a jam donut here, and I've got a full packet of Pringles. So every time one of you take the mick out of me, I'm going to either have a Pringle or have a bite out of this donut.
Jake, does your dad know you took his crisps? You took them chips?
No, I bought these crisps because they were on offer today. I wasn't going to pay full price because I'm an old granny.
I knew it. Yeah.
With a Morrison's More card that should have been £2.25 and were £1.25. Other crisps are, of course, available. And other supermarkets are, of course, available.
Oh, salt and vinegar. Oh, they're nice. I like them.
Yeah. So if you take the mic, then I'm going to start munching, all right? Good. Up the rent payment, Rich. You saying rent payment?
There you go, Richard. What's up, buddy?
Rent payment? Well.
What's this here? So you're wanting us to pull up our jibes so you can have a crisp. Exactly that. Yeah, we won't go into that. What we will go into is our start to the season. I want to start with our expectations before we began, Larry. Underwhelmed? Is that the word that you use right now?
Yeah. And why I say that is, because of the progression and stuff like that. So, I knew we were going to kind of do a review here for, Lopetegui, but we can just go in and say we've had 11 premier matches. We're 3-3-5, 12 points. 2 outside, 1-1. And it's just not enough. I went back to some of the data and it shows that we're doing better in possession compared to start last year, shots on goals and shots conceded by a slight amount, but we're not seeing any progression. We're not seeing the chemistry on the club. I talk about in my reaction thing is it seems like we have no plan. A good example, Emerson. Did you guys notice how long he was holding on the ball before he would throw the ball in?
Throw-ins are a whole kettle of fish.
Nobody, I know, Nige talked about it. It's ridiculous. And it comes down to the point, and maybe you guys know it better than me, but it's, and I say the players too, but how can a Premier League professional team look that poor in the second half? The final third. Second half, we came out a little bit better, but for Everton, I'm just going back to the last game, we were giving them so much spacing to set up and to take shots and different things like that. We did a little bit better in the second half. And people are going to say they're giving up on the team. But, man, if I'm these guys, you got to play for pride. Or if I'm seeing this and I'm a manager on another team or something like that, I'm like, I don't want a quality player like that. So it's frustrating. So I am underwhelmed going into this. And a lot of people said for Lopetegui, we're going to give him 10 games. A lot of people were getting impatient because we weren't seeing any growth. And that's the biggest thing. We're not seeing any growth. A lot of the fans always say it. We want to see a good hustle on the pitch. Play hard. Even if we lose, if we look like we played hard and we had some skills or something to look forward to, we could do that. But we're just not having that right now.
Yeah, I just want to pick up that point about the throw-ins and broaden it out a little bit more. Gary, I've made this point before, and it's that I genuinely don't know what they do in training all week. Throw-ins, corners, free kicks of any capacity. We haven't got a flipping clue, right? So we're like, who's going to take it? Well, what are we going to do with it? What's going on? Corners, diabolical, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, we used to be one of the best in the league at the corners a couple of seasons ago.
I'm not excited when we get a corner now.
No. To take your point, Jake, I mean, throwing's been a problem for a little while, but it's a sign of a non-confident team because when you're confident playing well, you move for the ball, you want the ball all the time. And you can see it on Saturday. You and I were in the stadium, Jake. The amount of pass backs from promising positions or sideways passes, no one takes any responsibility because, they don't want the crowd going, on the back and that type of thing. So it's not looking good. And to move on to Larry's point, the points we've made, we won 3 matches and won in the League Cup. And of those 4 wins, 3 we didn't deserve. Bournemouth were better than us in the League Cup. Manchester United was just how we won that game is an absolute miracle. And Palace, absolutely, you there, Jake, battered us in the first half. And somehow we got away with 0-0, 1-2-0. We've won 1 game really this season. We could be bottom 3 on our form. And that's the trouble. And the problem is, did you notice on Saturday, Jake, when Wan-Bissaka's numbers come up, he didn't move. He was stood talking. No, he was stood talking to Debo. Didn't move for a couple of minutes. Wandered off when he really wanted to. It's like the players just don't get Lopetegui. I mean, I don't know, Larry, what happens in your school system. It's like when you're at school and you turn up for a lesson and the supply teacher's there, you think, oh well, you just don't bother. And it's like the players have gone, oh, he ain't hanging around, so they're just not bothering. That's my personal view. He's got a complete no authority, no identity, and you don't know what he wants in the club.
Absolutely. That Wan-Bissaka moment was really bizarre because he was stood right in front of us basically, and his number went up and everyone was like, what? Like what? I didn't understand the substitution. And then I was like, he stood there and I said, he still stood there, Wan-Bissaka. He was just having a chat with Todibo, like uninterested, and like he looked and just ignored like his number go up and his name and face on the screen.
I think if I might be mistaken, Jake, but I think the next substitute went off before he did.
Yeah, and he then sort of went, oh, right, and had a little handshake with Todibo and just like wandered off aimlessly to like the nearest side. And I was like, it's like he didn't care, but he was just bemused by it as well.
Yeah, to be honest. It was both those things, Jake. He doesn't care and he is bemused, I think. Yeah,
as we all are. Right, let's take some comments. There's plenty that have come in. Yeah, Larry, you're just missing fried chicken under there.
Robert's up.
On the jumper, yeah. Yeah, KFC. Drove past KFC today on the way to McDonald's. Controversial. In Wincanton, Gary, there's a McDonald's and a KFC. Where are you going?
KFC, maybe.
I tell you what, I've had a new cheeky little order at McDonald's. Triple cheeseburger with just the cheese and the ketchup and the onions. No pickles and mustard or any of that rubbish.
And no
cheeseburger.
And bacon. And add bacon into it, so it's like a triple bacon cheeseburger. I tell you what, you
can't go wrong with bacon. You can't go wrong with bacon.
That was naughty today. It was nice. I'd highly recommend if anybody's searching for a McDonald's order.
When you get to my age, Jake, that's like cholesterol heart attack coming down.
That's what I was about to say, Jake. And your skin and bones. I don't know how you triple cheeseburger. What are you running a marathon? Your dad's got you running around the house or something. Sprints.
I'm gonna have to disagree with this. Salt and vinegar Pringles are the best flavor of Pringles. They are. I love salt and vinegar.
Bottom 3.
Well, I mean, there's only 3, isn't there? Cheese and onion. Is there like sour cream and onion? Is
barbecue, paprika.
Barbecue, they're nice. Yeah.
Paprika.
Oh, I haven't had them. Hot and spicy ones are nice.
Hot and spicy. Sour cream and onion.
Yeah.
Oh, I like sour cream and onion. I like spicy too.
Yeah, that's a bit.
I like them all.
Yeah, I've got a bit of an unpopular opinion. I'm not a huge fan of sour cream and onion Pringles. I don't see the hype. Everybody loves them, but I don't really see the hype. I don't know why. It's life, isn't it? It's like Gary's just disappointed. He's not angry. He's disappointed. He hasn't said anything. I thought he was going to reply, but he just honestly, his lack of response told me everything I needed to know. He's disappointed in me.
I did a Wampasaka.
You did. Yeah, you did. Exactly. We were lucky in 2 of our wins, and you could probably make that 3, as Gary just said a second ago. Fathead, we've gone backwards. No result or performances there as much as last year. This time last year, it was a record for the Christmas points. It was, yeah. But problem is, I'm not sure who would come in. Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, was it after that Arsenal game? We're on a record amount of points for that stage of the season, and it did all unravel in well, not yeah, I suppose it did unravel, really, didn't it?
I can't think of one player that's in form.
Or try and think of one player that's got better from last season.
I can't think of any.
No. Literally. I think that tells you everything you need to know. Michael says it here. Regressing week after week. Players' values are plummeting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, at one point we were talking about 80 million for Paqueta. We're now talking about 80p and a jam donut, right? He's been awful.
But that's it with these players. They got to realize that if they're not performing stuff like this, it affects their value too. And that, don't think it doesn't. You know what I mean? So they might. I'm all about this. They don't play for the coach and stuff like that. But nowadays, these guys get so much money, they be able to play for themselves because other teams are going to look at film and say, okay, do I want this guy? Or is he going to be, the toughest part of a player is how hard are they playing when you're struggling and you're not doing well. Those are the players you want to go to war with because they're going to play during the bad times. Like Gary says, I can't see anybody there. God bless Bowen. I love him and stuff like that. But it just everybody just seems clueless, and it goes back to the thing that you said, Jake, on the set pieces, the side balls, corners. We have no strategy. They're looking at each other as I call it deer in the headlights. No real plan. Gary hit on it too. Nobody trying to take control and be aggressive. They want to get the blame on them. Somebody needs to do something because, like I said, manager, we got issues, but the players too, they need to look in the mirror.
They do. I feel they don't know what. They don't know what they're doing, the players. It's clear they're not coached properly. And I feel sorry for Jared. He's got the captaincy. He looks like he's playing with a big sack of potatoes on his shoulders. He feels like he's got the weight of the world on him.
Yeah.
You can tell he's trying, but on Saturday, Jake, if you agree, he was terrible. Some of his passing was awful, and he's all over the place, poor guy.
Absolutely. We're going to come on to replacements a little bit later. Sean sent us a message about, Sean comes on the Roundup show, about Edin Terzic, is that his name?
Yeah.
About how he really wasn't liked by Dortmund fans. And of course, he's been at West Ham before. He was Slav's number 2, I think, in the last season at the Bowden, and he's been heavily linked. If we were to part ways with Julian Lopetegui to take the former Borussia Dortmund manager, Edin Terzic, but yeah, it seems like Sean's done a bit of digging for us, and he hasn't been fantastic in his time at Dortmund. There isn't a lot out there, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in depth later on, but there's not a lot in the shop window, to be totally honest, and that's the problem that we find ourselves in currently. Fathead says, and that leaves only Ipswich, and what sort of tiny Tim Pot club loses to Ipswich, especially at home?
Absolutely.
Exactly. A point well made. Is it still nil? Honestly, they could still be playing now and it'd be 0-0, right? That was one of the worst football matches I've ever watched in all my life. It goes up there. Go on.
The last 20 minutes went too bad when Danny Ings came on.
Yeah, I mean, Danny Ings.
Danny Ings had some opportunity, and you know what? It was a dreadful match, but you know what? Pickford had 2 great saves at the end to save them. Fab had one to save. Right at the end, like you said, it was exciting at the end.
Yeah.
Pickford had a couple good saves there, or we might have squeaked one out, and we'd have been talking about another game that we shouldn't have won, and we won.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to pick up the point because we talked about specific games a little bit. I want to pick up the point that Gary said at the start in terms of, I don't know, or I think it was before we went on air, I don't know where the direction, the whole club is just a little bit of a mess at the moment. Now, in 2025, at the end of the season, there's some contracts that Fabianski, Soufal, Creswell, Soler, Ings, and Antonio are out of contract. Now, on the surface, that's not huge. Fabianski, I know he's starting at the moment, but whatever. Soufal is not starting. Creswell, forget. Soler, who knows? Danny Ings is currently our best striker. They've got Mikel Antonio, which is a big one. He's out of contract at the end of the season. I think we've tried to move away from Mikel Antonio by then buying a 31-year-old injury-prone striker who's got injured. But can you see us renewing Antonio's contract and carrying on and prolonging Antonio as being West Ham's number one striker? Or do you think we need a fundamental reset, Larry, in terms of we just need to start fresh? Because at the moment, we're only going one way and it's not good.
Yeah, well, I think the struggle we've had, just like you said, Fulkrug hasn't came into fruition, and we keep saying we're going to get a person to replace him, and they haven't really done it yet. Danny Ings, he's had some moments now that we kind of like, but for a while he was struggling there, couldn't stay on sides, and he really couldn't do it. So, I don't know. The question to that is, I don't know. If we don't have an option, if nobody really going after him, I wouldn't sign him to a multi-year contract. I would do something like we did with Fab, 1 year contract and stuff like that. If he doesn't like it, fine. And then, we need to have a decision made. If we either pick some people up or we start looking at our youth, and it's a total rebuild. And at that point, we're just rebuilding and we're trying to stay out of relegation until we can get our feet upon ourselves and have some kind of strategy. But for Antonio, like I said, if we can get someone in, but who knows what, Fulkrug, I don't even know what's going on with him. Are we going to look in the window? It all depends what we have, really. Did we get anybody from that? I don't know if Ings is our answer. I like him coming in, and like Gary said, he was a spark for us in the second half against Everton and stuff like that. A couple opportunities though, but I don't think anybody is our overarching. This is our guy up front.
No, absolutely. Guys, there's a joke coming in a minute, so get ready to laugh, right? Just a couple of comments will be there. Biggest mistake of the summer was James Ward-Prowse leaving. Now we're going to talk about that in just a second. But talking about leaving, I mean, we've been talking about maybe in the last few weeks who could replace Julian Lopetegui. But there's one man in football who is very swiftly going to be out of a job, an unnamed Premier League referee. He might need a job. So if in doubt, give David Coote a ring, hey?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He's got
been a naughty boy.
He's got some energy, but I don't know what that's from. So I don't know.
He's been a naughty boy, old David. He's
Yeah,
Oh,
that is funny.
Deary me. See, I got a laugh out of Larry, eh?
Yeah,
Write that on the calendar. I'm going to write that on the calendar.
I watched that video and it just made me chuckle. He's clueless of it. That's another thing. Make sure you know who your friends are.
Well, to be fair to him, he's the guy that gave us a penalty against Man United. So
that's right.
He won't be giving us any more penalties, but
no, he won't.
He went from bad to worse from the first video to then the video that the Sun released yesterday.
Yeah,
it got even worse.
Yeah, I didn't see that one, but I heard about it. I saw the
talcum powder. It was.
Yeah, I mean, he's not even a linesman either, is he?
No, exactly. Yeah.
Take a crisp right now for that one.
No, because I haven't opened them. Do you want me to take a bite out of the donut?
Whatever you like.
Can. Whatever.
Yeah. Right. I'll get you talking, and then right. James Ward-Prowse leaving. Do we think corners, free kicks, general play? Do we think it was a mistake? Whilst I eat this,
he's certainly an option, which we haven't got anymore. So I'm not sure he's a solution in midfield because he's very much like the others. He hasn't got any pace or any legs. I mean, the most disappointing thing for me is that we won the Youth Cup 2 years ago, and 0 players are playing in the first team, not having any appearances. And they need a run, these guys. And they need to make their mistakes, and they need to increase their at least sell-on value or get some experience in the Premier League. And I just struggle to see why we pay a fortune to get Soler on loan for a season rather than keep Potts on earth. It makes 0 sense to me. We all know he's leaving.
No, I was 100% on that.
I just literally can't get it. And there's so many opportunities to bring the guys on. I mean, you went to Forest, Jake. The game was over. Why not bring what's the name, Casey on?
Nothing to lose, was there? Nothing to lose.
Exactly. The weekend, Scar's on the bench. Bring him on. He played one game in Europe a couple of years ago, and he was good. I just don't get it. Just don't get it.
Yeah. And for the JWP comment, I mean, I think hindsight's 20/20. He started out really well with us in last year, but if people remember, his performance really did decline at the end of the season and stuff like that. Don't know what it was, but he wasn't just, we can't get any worse on our corners than we are right now. So you're looking at that, and that's where we got to look at just not the manager, but the director of players, right? Look at who are bringing these players in, because it was their anticipation that the players we were going to bring in were going to do better than what we had. And we all know we were struggling at the end, and JWP wasn't playing to what we saw at the beginning and at other times. So, but I'm Gary, 100% with you. If we're going to do it right, we have some talent out there in our youth that just bring them in. Soler, I was trying to give him a shot, buddy, but I don't know about him. He's getting some playing time now, and I'm not seeing much. But then again, it goes back to our whole debate here. It's a combination of players and management. And, and do they know what they're supposed to be doing? Are they in the right? Because they did have Paqueta and Soler on the pitch together for a bit. So that's when some people wanted to see that, but I didn't really see much happen with that either.
Yeah, it's a conundrum in the midfield, and it's been the underlying pinpoint of pain, to be totally honest. I mean, I've bitten into this donut, and I suppose it really epitomises West Ham's season so far, because I've bitten into the donut and I haven't quite reached the jam yet. I haven't quite reached the goodness, and it's just average so far, right? And I think that's a real good representation of West Ham's season so far. There is some positives, and I can see it, right? The jam's there, but just subtle changes need to be made, like me, to have another bite. And I have to say, to fuel the claims even more, right? Yellow stickers were out in fruition in Morrison's today, Gary, right? A pack of 5 raspberry donuts should have been £1.50. Thank you very much.
There you go. 10p.
As long as you don't got mold on them, they're still good to eat.
They're nice as well.
Very nice.
Really nice. See? So was that my reward for saying one half decent joke?
I guess.
Yeah, that's good.
Good.
I mean, the team, Larry said it earlier, there's no effort in the team. There's no coaching. I mean, I literally have no clue at all what the lineup's going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know about you, Jake. In the second half, I don't even notice Souček's even playing centre back.
I mean, I know he dropped back, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching it thinking, where are you playing?
I know.
It's just, I just don't get it. I have no clue what's going on. Bizarre.
And of course, our next game is Newcastle away, and there's been reports and articles posted from Newcastle outlets today suggesting that Callum Wilson is set to return to the Newcastle squad for the game. So that, once again, alongside the Chris Wood thing, is the most predictable thing to ever happen in the history of Premier League football. Callum Wilson, 1-0, Newcastle, 4 minutes.
When he was injured, he circled the date of the West Ham game.
He circled it on his calendar. I'll be there.
I'll be there for that one.
And that's come up from various Newcastle sources today that Callum Wilson is set to make a return. Absolutely brilliant.
I mean, do we think if we lose to Newcastle and then lose to Arsenal at home, that's it for Lopetegui?
I don't, because I think we're expected to lose those games, to be honest. I think then what we got after that, we then got Leicester away. Leicester away, Wolves at home. Those are the 2 games. Yeah. To be honest, I know it's bad, but I've pretty much written off these 2 games because we're not going to Newcastle away and getting anything, let's be honest. And we definitely aren't beating Arsenal at home.
I'm going to ask a dumb question, but I was looking at our schedule. There is no break in December going into January. It's just straight games.
Straight through. Yeah.
Is that because there's so many international breaks here? Kind of called us behind.
They always do that. To be fair.
It's a historical thing. Christmas is always a big period around here.
We played the 21st, 26th, 29th.
Yeah, we played straight through. So it's
always a congested period. Yeah. Absolutely. Right, let's take some comments. We're a bit behind. Kent, hope you well. He says the players have got to take the ball by the own and show some real fight and nuts, but there's nobody that wants to take responsibility. We got leaders and everything sideways and backwards, painful in it. Safe passes, sideways, backwards. You can predict what's going to happen. To Wan-Bissaka, back to Kilman, to Debo, back to Fabianski. Either he'll hoof it long onto the head of the centre half, or he'll pass to Kilman, who will then pass to the other centre half, then goes to the left back, then back in again, into midfield, then back again. Predictable, right?
But
they can see it.
Yeah, there's no runners for them, Jake. You see the guys look up. Nobody wants the ball. You can tell.
Statues, complete statues.
No,
they're still behind players. It makes it very difficult. Somebody needs to break the lines and run with the ball or something.
Helen says the goalkeepers worry me. Not sure what has happened to Areola and having to rely on Fabianski. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm going to keep an eye on for sure. See whether Fabianski maintains his spot going into the new year, which I'd expect him to do now, barring any major balls ups. Kent says Rodriguez had the right hump, kicked the water bottle on the way off. Did he?
I saw that as well, Kent. Yeah.
Wow.
I saw that as well. Yeah.
There we go. I can't believe Wincanton has both. Wincanton's proper place, right? KFC and McDonald's in the space of 100 yards, right? It's brilliant. And there's a pub, and there's Lidl, and there's Morrison's. It's the place to be.
Big town, Nick Wincanton. Big town.
It's a big town, yeah. It is. It's Mike's home. You know, Wincanton always makes me think of Mike. Don't know why. Well, because he lives there. That's why. But yeah. Honestly, it's the place to be. Get yourself to Wincanton, and you'll have a good day. No doubt. No doubt. Both the keepers were man of the match on Saturday. Yeah, because everyone else was so bad, more than they were good. But there wasn't anyone else to pick. Must have had a free voucher. No, or today, right? I had a blinder, so I had a free £5 on the Morrison's Moore card, and there was so many different offers I had as well. So between me and my granddad, we spent 30 quid in there, and it only cost us 20 quid. I mean,
sweet.
Yeah,
all right,
and a tenner of that was mine.
Dealing.
A tenner of that was mine. Honestly, superb.
Lord.
Superb, absolutely brilliant.
Hold on real quick. Gary was at the match on Saturday. You were at the match on Saturday. Gary, did he get you anything for all the support you give him?
He came over to my seat. We didn't bring any gifts, and then he wandered back to his own end without leaving anything.
Oh Lord!
Do you know what? You didn't say you wanted anything, right? And do you know what? The truth is that we walked back round, and Dad said I fancy a pie, and I bought us both pies. 11 quid, right? 11 quid to Delaware North. Brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
But the pie was really nice, and I was happy to do that. Gary, if we'd have been in the concourse, then, but I mean,
no,
you actually sat in my seats when I got there.
I did. I was sat in his seat, and I know. And Larry, this is how much money he pays, right? He's got his name on the seat. His name is on the seat.
Oh, nice.
I can't deny it.
High class. But no, the story I heard from your dad was before you met up with Gary, your dad said, "Hey, I'm in the mood for some pies," and you said, "Hey, let's get it after you talk to Gary. You know, I have to keep my wallet a little heavier."
Yeah,
that is completely and utterly incorrect. It's Mike's birthday today. I forgot about that. Shall we all sing happy birthday to Mike?
Happy birthday, Mike.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Mike. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Love you, mate.
I was telling your dad, I thought his birthday was a little bit ago. He went on that vacation. How many birthdays does the guy got?
Oh, he goes about 15 holidays a year, Mike. He's never here, right? He lives in an absolutely amazing place, and he's never there.
You guys are legends, man. Living large.
Yeah, oh, he does, mate. Honestly, yeah. You see, he's like the boss. He is the boss. Happy birthday, Mike. Hope you are, mate. Fatty says Ings is better than this time last year. That's it. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Would you want James Ward-Prowse back this season? I'd take him back tomorrow, says Fathead. Well, there we go. I would as a squad player. We've missed James Ward-Prowse. Corners and free kicks have been awful. I'm impressed anyone thinks we could have kept a clean sheet this long. I know. I genuinely true in terms of the game going on, but honestly, I couldn't believe we kept a clean sheet.
I did predict
Everton are really poor, aren't they?
They were so bad. They were as bad as us, which sums it up.
Yeah, they're a bad side. We should be beating them. Really.
First half, we made them look like they were something special. How much spacing they were passing around the shots. It was like, we can't celebrate. You know, this team is down at the bottom with us.
Yeah,
absolutely. And Kent makes the correct and underlying point. We could easily get a manager if the chairman would pay compensation, but if my memory serves, he's never paid compensation for a manager in his whole time as chairman. I would want Thomas Frank or Marco Silva. If this club had a bit of ambition, right, then they'd have gone and got Iraola out of Bournemouth at the end of last season, right? They'd have chucked a big wad of money at him, or a manager like that, not somebody cheap and easy. They'd have gone and got an ambitious manager and tried to build an ambitious project.
Yeah.
But no.
I mean, Kent's right at the end of the day. I mean, it's the most important role. We'll spend £25 million on a Brazilian teenager who hasn't kicked the ball yet, but we won't spend £25 million on the most important figure, which is the manager. So it's bizarre. I mean, he wants someone with Premiership experience who's unemployed, which by definition narrows it down to someone who's crap. So it's just
literally.
They're
out of a job for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Lopetegui didn't work for a year. That's why he came to us. I mean, I'd like a young manager. I'd get the guy out of Ipswich. I quite like him.
McKenna,
Yeah, or Michael Carrick. I quite like him as well.
Carrick, yeah. There are options out there, but we're just never going to go and be ambitious and get somebody out of a club, are we?
No.
See, Gary's got it all up here. I wrote a couple down. I had notes for Gary. Picked a
Go
couple
on, then.
nice ones there.
Here we
SE
go.
notes. SE notes, Larry.
Well, you took a nice one there because Carrick was a former West Ham player, midfielder. He's done well for Middlesbrough, so he's got a chance. They say the negatives West Ham fans remember when he left and went to the Spurs, but one person that wasn't on there, and I had a couple comments. What about the is his name Nesselroy, the person that was the interim coach manager?
Ruud
for
van
Man U?
Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
A couple of people have mentioned that. Yeah.
He's 3-1, 3 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses in his interim.
Unbeaten at Man United in a month.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's never happened for about 10 years, has it?
So, but then the other ones I'm talking about, of course, is Gary Potter, Southgate. There's a guy.
Or even Graham Potter.
Yeah, Graham Potter. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's it. Sorry.
Or even Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
You're gonna get a chuckle out of the last one. Knutson. They say this is a guy who's 54 years old. He's got a lot of quality manager.
Who? Sorry.
Knutson. He's out of Norway. I guess I look it up. It was on an article I read, and they said he's had some upsets against other teams, but he's never played in the majors, so that's a con. He hasn't been up there. And guess what else they had as the 5th pick?
Who?
David
Mourinho.
Moyes.
David Moyes.
I said, as soon as I said, man, I'm looking at the wrong article. That guy's never coming back.
That guy has made me have a receding hairline, right?
And
I don't need that anymore.
We need somebody who understands the club and who will get behind a style of play. I mean, the fans will be supportive. They're not supportive at the moment because we look down the pitch, you've got no idea what's going on, no idea who's playing, no identity, no passion. If we look down at the team, we're losing every week, but you can see what we're doing. We're playing well. We're trying things. We're putting youngsters in the team. That's the West Ham way. That's what we want to see, but it's just not happening. We're so far away from that at the moment. And as I said earlier, the points we've got on the board is massively overachieved what we deserved. We deserved about 5 points this season, and we got 12.
Yeah. And that's why I was talking about that Nesselroy, the guy that did temporary for Man U. You know, he could get right into the Prem League. You saw he was getting a standing ovation from the fans. Of course, he's going to with a record like that. But anyway, he had that. Seemed like he was liked among the players and the fans. I listened to a couple of his interviews. He's articulate, so he can be able to communicate. No offense to Lopetegui, but I don't know how he's really communicating properly with some of the players. He can't even get it through an interview with that. That's big. That's important. You know, you need to be able to communicate properly with your team and stuff like that. If you're sitting on the pitch and you're trying to show them the tactics on there, you're not going to have your interpreter there the whole time. And that's no disrespect to people there. It's just reality. So he just looked like a fresh guy. They said he liked the 4-2-3-1, and then we use that a bit. So he would be just a long. I don't know if he ever would, but that's just somebody I would look into. And then remember that one guy. I'm sorry, Gary. Real quick, was it Will Still? I don't know about him, but he was.
Still.
I think that was a lot of hype though, but I don't know. But that was one they remember talking about.
Before we go on to Gary, can we have a round of applause for the research from Larry there? He's given himself a round of applause. Even he's impressed with it himself.
I thought there was another Larry. My bad.
So some commendable research there. More research done there than I've done for the last 2 months worth of shows put together. So Larry, excellent.
I just keep it all up here.
So I know. I told him, Gary, you're the legends. I'm just a rookie trying to keep up.
I told you, Larry, you're the legends. All right, I'll stay out of it.
Larry makes a good point there about communication, because when I watch him talk, he sends me to sleep after about 5 seconds, because you know what he's going to say. They're a very good team. We must do better. We need to show passion from the start. It's like, shut up. Shut up. I just don't want to hear. It's just enough. Let's get off. 100%. We can watch it. And football is one of those games. People that watch it have all got opinions, and none of us are stupid. We can see what's going on the pitch. Okay, we don't want to hear this nonsense about we must do better. Yeah, well, that's your job, mate. At least if you put on the pitch in an identifiable format, which we know what we're doing, then fine. It's just ridiculous at the moment. It's absolutely ridiculous. We should be making as many substitutions as we are, because the team's all set up wrong. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Let's take some comments, because we are got quite a few to get through. I can see all those players being renewed except Soler. I went through that list a little bit earlier on. We have a smaller squad than last year's smallest squad. Have to look at recruitment and say it sucked. Fulcrum could be out for 6 months if it's an Achilles injury. Soufal was done an interview. I saw that quote on Twitter a little bit earlier, saying that he was promised more minutes and just isn't getting it, and basically isn't going to sit on the bench for too much longer, which is fair enough. David Coote's out of a job. The Archbishop of Canterbury's out of a job. There's plenty of options for a new manager at West Ham, and I think 30 of the Bishop they're all getting sacked as well. So there's plenty to choose from. Some of them must be able to find one. I mean, Larry, I don't know whether you that news has reverberated over to America, but
No.
yeah, only in England, Gary, only in England.
Joe Biden will be free soon.
Joe Biden will
right.
be free soon. Exactly. Yeah.
Wait a second, Gary. You said you wanted someone that could properly communicate. I don't think he's going to put that much.
Oh.
I think Biden's better than Lopetegui.
Oh, shots are fired.
And the beauty about Biden is he forgets what he's saying, so he just repeats himself as well.
That's true.
Oh dear. No.
I think me and Gary are beating you on the jokes today, there, Jake.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Does that mean I can have some donut? We need a mobile striker and a mobile midfielder, which
Very
we currently do not have. We need pace. We need a lot that we don't have, to be honest, quite frankly, at the moment. It's a joke that a team with Bowen, Kudus and Somerville are lacking pace, exactly.
Yeah.
Because everything else is so painfully slow. What happened to the other 4 donuts? Well, Mum had a donut, and then there's 3 for my grandparents because he actually bought the donut. It's not me. So, yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah. Well,
Your dad not getting one?
no, he didn't. No, he doesn't. No.
He sold him. He's a wheeler dealer, Richard, of course.
Well, I mean, yeah, that would have doubled me money, wouldn't it? That's maybe what I should have done. Yeah, there was loads of packets of them there, so maybe I should have just bought loads of them and stood outside the shop selling them. That's probably illegal, but hey ho. David Moyes ruined James Ward-Prowse. He was getting goals and set play delivery. Then Moyes made him play deeper and stopped pushing him forward. Good evening, everyone. Fans of Freya Roche need to get to Morrison's as they are selling 24 packs. 24 pack for £5. If you have a more card, normal price is £10.50. Peter, absolutely. I saw that as I walked in to Morrison's today. I saw that very good deal. Honestly, this is one of the best things. You know what? Honestly, you guys know what I'm like with money, right? This is one of the best things I've ever bought, or didn't even have to pay for it. A Morrison's More card has saved me so much money, right? That is a thing of beauty. The Morrison's More card. Please scan it now.
Never go to Morrison's, mate.
Oh yeah, sorry, Waitrose. Yeah,
Waitrose, Tesco's, Sainsbury's.
Yeah, soz. Fatty says Wolves at home. I'm fully expecting to end the game. Oh, got a second my throat. Fully expecting to end the game managerless and in the bottom 3.
Yeah.
Zuma might be out of a job. Get him in charge. He kicks it to the left. He kicks it to the right.
Or even Kevin Nolan. Bring him back.
Bring Kev back. Why not?
Yeah, that's a good show.
Why not?
Yeah.
I did warm Gary's seat. Yeah, absolutely. I made sure it was all right for him, because he gets a bit shirty.
Okay. Why? Oh my goodness me. That's a long way, mate.
I'm going to Newcastle. All being well, I can see us getting smashed. Neil got 3 against us. That was a night game. Honestly, Monday night football.
That was 5-0, I think, Kent, wasn't it? That one there.
Shambolic.
It was
Get
5-0.
Lopetegui gone.
Oh, that's right. That's a Monday night game.
Yeah, absolutely. Were the pies better than the Greg slice? Well, I could not confirm or deny.
Greg slice are lovely.
I mean, the only thing I'll say is that the pie was a lot more expensive than a Greg slice.
Yeah.
But here we go. They're all going at me now. That Jake will be one of those in a group at the pub, and when it's his turn to buy a round, he will disappear to the toilet.
100%, Peter. 100%.
Not with David Coote, I won't. But come on, that was funny. Laugh. Thank you. I
am laughing inside.
My jokes are lost on you, and just right. I'm going to scroll down on some of these comments and see what you guys are saying. Ken says, I went for pie mash and liquor before the game away from the stadium. I had pie mash, and it was about your price of 2 pies, and I had 2 and 1. There we go. And I had 1 and 1. The stadium's a complete it's a rip-off. Yeah, to be fair, the pies are the only thing that are half decent in the ground. They're like a £5. Everything else is like a £10 at least. Oh.
Yeah, the food's terrible.
It's not great. It's not great. Great to know Juggy is also known as Gary Lineker is leaving Matchday Day, but instead of giving the job to Mark Chapman. Yeah, I saw that. So basically, they wanted to do a cheeky job share with Kelly Summers and Mark Chapman. And Mark Chapman said, no, I ain't doing that. You either have all of me or none of me.
Dang.
So, yeah, there we go. There we go. Right. Let's scroll down on some of these comments. Where are we? Oh, don't start this again. I heard Basil Brush got a chance. Yeah, get him in charge. Boom, boom. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Asda man, have they got a better loyalty card? Maybe might have to get to Asda as well. Imagine Kevin. Imagine big Kevin. Nobes. Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
Could
So
you
be some
imagine?
passion. Which is
Yeah.
what
But
we're
no,
lacking.
but that's a question right now that I want to put out. Not what is Mark Noble doing right now?
I
He's
don't
part of
know.
the team. Is he
But-
going into
Yeah.
that locker room and trying to do that? You know what I mean?
But I
I mean,
think
I
that's
wish
across
we
all
knew some
Premier
of
League
this.
clubs. He's director of football, I think. And no. What is his job? I don't know what his job is. Is he
He's
director of
basically,
football?
as I understand it, he's like a liaison between the youngsters and the board and the club. He's just basically represents West Ham because he is Mr. West Ham, I think.
Fair enough. Right, this is comment of the night. Coot won't get a sniff at another job in football. That's good.
I like that.
That's better than my jokes. That's good.
You get a donut bite for that one. There
Yeah, you do. Peter, if you want some of my donut, you can have it. There it is, looking rather luscious. And
He hasn't got to
fair.
the filling yet.
Who videos themselves doing that? That's just so stupid.
Videos himself
100%. I
do-
thought-
The line.
just-
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I was lost where you were. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
That the whole thing was ridiculous. The conversation and
Yeah.
everything was just bizarre.
I couldn't believe what I was watching, to be honest. I couldn't stop laughing. But
his stupidity is the reason why he shouldn't even be coming back to be ref. Just being that
Exactly.
stupid.
Sometimes you just got to hold your hands up and say, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Basil Brush and Simon Le Bon, the Jake Cox Trinity. Who's Simon Le Bon?
Lead singer Duran Duran.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, right. I see.
Hungry like a wolf.
Peter moved on. Right, she's a friend. Right, nothing more. Always has been. Right, you just bought into ideologies that weren't from me.
Is that the babysitter's first name?
No.
It's the pool girl, is it?
No. This is somebody different.
Oh, he's got them. They're all over the place. Pool girl,
Jesus.
babysitter, new one.
Actually, as a matter of fact, she lives in Newcastle. As a matter of fact.
Oh, you can go
Yeah.
You got one in
visit
every
her when
town,
you get in
Jake.
there.
Every away for
Yeah. One in every town. Yeah.
Oh, Gary to be young again. Oh my goodness.
No, Peter, that has always been incorrect, and we've always been friends. And yeah, that is not what's going on there. No, wrong. Right. Final thoughts, gentlemen, before we wrap things up. What do we want to see? Newcastle, Arsenal, Leicester, Wolves. 4 games takes us up to now on the middle of December, so a month's time. So sat here in a month's time. A, do you think Lopetegui will still have a job? And B, do you think you're going to feel a little bit more enthused by what you've seen? Larry, I'll start with you.
Well, I don't think if we haven't sacked him yet, I think he'll be there for the next match. So you see there, and then again I think it goes back to what you said. I don't, I know what I would like. I like some kind of result, even a draw or something like that. What do we have? Newcastle away and Arsenal at home. If we, gosh, I don't even know what to say. But then I guess our biggest judge would be Leicester City. But I guess out of those matches, we need to see as fans, and we can tell, is there progress? Are we seeing some kind of strategy, or have they given up? If we see the same team that we've seen the last couple matches and stuff like that, with the lack of effort, and we get blown out like a 4-1, like we did against the Spuds, and like 3-1, 4-1. I don't care. I'm telling you, after that, I'd be looking for some people. Now, granted, they had a board meeting this week, they say, and there's rumors, and it drives me crazy trying to follow some of this stuff because everybody's got their own ideas of what's going on and stuff like that. But yeah, I just think we need to see something from them. But if we see they're giving up, we're gonna, before we're gonna run out of time. And yeah, so I'm almost lost for words on it. But I want to see some kind of hustle in it. I would be happy as heck if we could go out of those 2 matches with 2 points and stuff. I know that's a long shot, but I need to see some progress.
Absolutely, Gary. If only we could turn back time. And to the point.
Oh, share classic there, Jake.
Go on.
To answer your question, will he still be there? Yes, he will, because Sullivan won't sack him for the financial reasons, because he knows he'll have to pay out compensation once and probably put some in twice. Secondly, will we get any better? Absolutely not. We've had 3 months, 4 months, plus the summer to work on them. There's no identity, no style, nothing's going to change in the next few games. And it's like the Eric Ten Hag situation at Manchester United. Everybody can see what needs to be done, and sometime it will be done. I just hope it's not too late.
Exactly. There we go. Last couple of comments before we wrap things up. So, he's going to get a knack at this, Lopetegui. I've got the fixtures here, so when I'm looking here. So we've got Newcastle, Arsenal, write that off. Leicester, Wolves, he'll pick up 4 points there and keep his job. We'll then go to Bournemouth away and lose. Brighton at home, probably lose. And then we'll go away to Southampton and win, keeps his job. Lose to Liverpool, lose to City, beat Fulham at home, keep his job. And it goes on like that. And I think he'll keep his job all the way through. And
the sad state of affairs is, Jake, we're at November, whatever it is today, 14th, 15th, and the season's over for us. We've all written off. And that's a terrible situation to be in. Because if you look at the rest of the Premier League, Chelsea are third with 18 points, and Man United are one place above us with 15. It's just so close. So close.
Absolutely. It's so compact.
Yeah, we're out of it. It's such a shame.
Exactly. Right, last few comments. Go on.
What did you said Leicester City. What are those? There's 4 matches there. And you had
Newcastle, Arsenal, Leicester, Wolves.
No, I know. I was talking about after Arsenal. So you had Leicester City, Wolves,
Bournemouth,
Brighton.
And that takes up Christmas.
I can tell you something right now, and I know it's a long shot, and I agree with Gary. He's just being truthful in what we're looking like. But that's where we need to pick up any type of points like that, because that's we had such a tough schedule, and the way we're playing, everybody's tough against us. But that's that spot right there. We should be able to beat some of those teams.
And I'm not being funny. I mean, we've moaned about the fixtures at the start of the season, rightly so.
Yeah.
Our December is actually quite nice, barring Liverpool at the end. We've got Leicester, Wolves, Bournemouth, Brighton, Southampton. You couldn't ask for much better than that. In a congested period, well, we end up with 3 games in 9 days. The only top team that we've got in December is Liverpool, and it's right at the end. Right, so we've actually got a quite nice December for once. We haven't got big teams dotted about. There's one big team, Brighton. Brighton and Bournemouth are dropping in and out, aren't they? They're doing good things, but yeah. So that's good in that sense. Yeah, 4 points will be 4 games, 2 points. Sloppy's still here. Well, there we go. 4 points, I think it'll be. Is that the last donut? No, I only bought 2 home. The other 3 were taken by the person that actually bought the donuts, i.e. not me, because you know what I'm like.
We know
5 points. Thank you very much indeed, everybody, for joining us. West Ham motto: woulda, coulda, shoulda. Absolutely. Thanks everybody for their input in the chat tonight. Fantastic as always. I've made my guests laugh. Put it on the calendar, the 14th of November. Larry and Gary, it sounds like a really bad boy band, but thank you very much indeed, as always, for joining me. And we'll speak to you next week, where hopefully we'll have something exciting going on, if not building up to Newcastle away.
Hey.
Brilliant. I can see your excitement building already. Gary, you look so excited.
What's England score, Jake? If you look.
I didn't know England are England playing tonight?
Yeah,
they're right now. It was 1-0 last time I saw.
1-0.
1-0, is it?
I didn't even know they were playing. That's really bad, isn't it? I didn't even know they were playing.
No one's interested.
Not really.
Yeah.
Larry, Gary, thanks as always from us. Come on, your irons, and we'll see you soon right here on West Ham Official. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Cheers.
Cheers, gents. Thank you.